Off-grid living update. I've got the inverter and 2 AGM premium batteries shoved in this camper here. Let's have a closer look at it and test some stuff out. Now don't worry, I'll go in the camper and give you all a top-down view of how the batteries are hooked up. But here's the 3000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Here's power coming in from that generator if I want, or here's power coming in from a smaller generator that's really far away so that I can't hear it while it's running. But it's only 1500 watts, I think, so not big enough to run everything in the camper. And that comes into the inverter here, and then out here to the camper. It's just plugged into the camper's electrical system. Now when there's no power coming in here, we can turn this inverter on, and bam! It's not flickering in real life, by the way. It's only flickering on the camera. And now the camper has power and there's no generator running. It's coming out of these two 12-volt batteries. If I don't want to fire a big generator up, I got this little generator here to save fuel. It's only 79 cc's, a little 2-horsepower engine. Absolutely sip on fuel. Supposedly run 12 hours at half load on 1 gallon of fuel. Believe me, I'm going to test that. It runs 12 volt 50 amps into the battery bank to recharge them or to support the inverter without the wasted gasoline or running a big old generator. Here I've got the bunk beds propped open because there's actually an access compartment to get to this storage compartment here. Here's the 2 batteries wired up in parallel for 12 volts into the 3000 watt inverter. I got these second hand off of Facebook Marketplace for very cheap. Hopefully they last a long time. Guy claimed they're brand new. Hopefully they are brand new. And I got me the remote control wire coming up through a little gap in the bunk bed access compartment up here to a control switch so I can turn the entire camper on or off from inside. So right now the entire camper's turned on, running off of the inverter. Let's go ahead and turn on the microwave and see how that does. Yep, that seems to be working just fine. And sure enough, if we look out here on the inverter, it looks like we are just over the halfway mark on load, which is good. And our DC voltage is holding steady. Now let's turn on the big draw, the air conditioning. This is not something we're going to be running very often, but just to test out the inverter. Oh, it kicked right on, no problem. The air conditioner actually pulls less than the microwave. Does that mean I could run both at the same time? We're about to do something crazy. We're going to try and run the microwave at the same time as the rooftop air conditioner. Oh yeah, see, that puts us at maximum load. That is literally the most amount of load that this system can hold. It's pulling so much current that the battery voltage is trying to drop into the red. It is not happy. All right, let's go ahead and shut that off before something bad happens. Actually, here the fan in the inverter has kicked on to cool down the inverter. Wow. And the air conditioning, instead of pulling 2 bars, is pulling 3 bars now. Let's test out this little engine-powered battery charger. It says it can put out 50 amps. Let's see if we can supplement our current demands with this as I had planned. I don't expect it to support the current of the entire air conditioner. Also, I need to add a switch that disconnects the ground from this system, like a big battery disconnect switch, because it does draw a little bit of current when the engine isn't running, which is not ideal. Okie doke. Switch on. Engine choke. Let's get it running. Engine's running. And we are pulling 30 something amps to 40 amps. 35 to 40 amps. That's looking great. At 12.4 volts. As you can see, based on the DC input level measure, we are not outpacing the draw of the inverter. It is still pulling from the batteries and the generator, and it's pulling so much current that the generator can't keep up, so the batteries are making up for it. We're draining them. Okay, now let's test the switch over. I'm going to fire up this generator and plug this in and see if it switches over from inverter power to what the manual called grid power, but in this case a generator, automatically. And when I tell you, you do not want to run a generator this size for any extended length of time because of the fuel consumption, let me tell you, this thing will just eat up the fuel. It's got a 2-cylinder Briggs & Stratton engine on it. This thing's a monster. The automatic transfer is not working. We're just gonna turn the inverter off and see what happens. Yeah, we've got no power. The automatic transfer is not working in that inverter. Let's turn the inverter back on. Yeah, we can get power from the inverter, but no power from the generator. Now I'm completely bypassing the inverter to make sure the generator's putting out power. Sure enough, the generator is in fact putting out power. Seems to be good, normal power. Let's try the power from this little camping generator that I've positioned as far away as I possibly could to reduce the amount of noise that we can hear in the camper from a generator running. It might not like the power from that big generator for some reason. Choke on, pull. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Choke off, pull. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, here we go. I'm shocked. This thing does not show any AC input, even though it's getting an AC input. And sure enough, the little camping generator is working just fine. It doesn't quite put out the wattage of the bigger one, so I'm not surprised that light bulb dimmed a little bit. But it works. I have tried everything that I can think of and read the manual twice, and I cannot get this inverter to transfer from the generators to the camper. The only thing I can think of is that the power is just not clean enough from these generators, and I need like an inverter generator that has a pure sine wave or as close as possible to a pure sine wave, so that whatever brain is in this inverter is like, oh yeah, that's good power, we'll let that through. It just seems like the generators are not doing it, which is a shame. I was really hoping to rely on that. I really wanted it to automatically transfer to the inverter when the generator ran out of gas, or if I just didn't want to hear the darn generator anymore, I just shut it off and everything just continues to work as expected. If I get that working, I'll let you know. I may have an inverter generator on the way from a company that wanted to send one to me. We will see. Thank you all for watching, and I appreciate your support.